Let us continue with our lesson, and on the previous lesson we have completed our user repository or our user profile repository. So the next step would be to make use of this repository in our view model. So we have a profile view model over here. What I will do is I will move this profile view model over a view model in our view model section over here. So if you don't have this profile package over here, just make a new package for a profile and just drag and drop the view model over here. So inside the view model we have a profile package, and there we have a profile view model. Just open this profile view model, and now we have been using a view model. So if it's this profile view model is extending a view model, and all of the other view model, if you take a note, we are extending a view model. And if you go over here for a view model, you can see that all of them are extending a view model. So today I will like to show you the another view model that we can extend. It's an Android view model. So what I will do over here for the profile view model, I'll extend a ANDRY, the Android view model. So I will extend the Android view model, and this Android view model is also will also extend the view model. Basically, the Android view model will also make use of a view model as a base class, but with the help of the Android view model, what we have is, you can see we can pass the constructor of a application class. So no value for the constructor application is passed. So we just click that one and it will implement the constructor for us. So here we are passing the constructor of application, and this Android view model now has the application context. So if you go to the other view model, like if you go to the view model for a home view model, we have make use of a context over here. As you see that view model doesn't extend, doesn't has any context over here like a Android view model. So Android view model has the application context over here. So that's the difference between the view model and the Android view model. The basic difference is that Android view model has the constructor which it can pass as an application, and basically this Android view model will also extend the view model internally. And let us go over here and create a constant companion object, and instead this I will create a constant val of a tag which is of equals to, let's give a class name for this one. Just copy and paste, and now we need to have a network service. So if you go to the view model, we have a network service, and we have also have access to repository. So I will go over here and I can say as a private val of our network service, and network service we need to create through the, if you want to get a network service, we need to create it through the network service networking.create. So network service, and we say networking, sorry, not the network helper, networking.create, and we need to pass the base URL, and base URL we can pass using a build build config and dot the base URL. And second, we need to pass the private, and I need to let init var of, let's create a user repository. So user profile, sorry, user profile repository. So we need a user profile repository. Hey, why it's not coming? So user profile reposi. Why it's not coming? So let me just copy this class name and just paste it over here. We need a user repository of a user profile repository. Okay, so we have a user profile repository, and next is we also need to have access to our, if you go to the model, we also need a local for app preference as well. When we need an app preference, we also need a shape preference. So if you go to profile view model, we also have to make use of private let init var of, we will make use of a app preference, app preference. Sorry, it should be set preference. Sorry for that one. So set preference, and we also need a private let init var of app preference. So app preference over here. So we have a network service, a user profile repository, and set preference, as well as the app preference. So let's go and make use of an init block over here. So the init block will be called as soon as our constructor is called. So what I will do over here is I will initialize the user repository. So what we can say is user repository is equals to user profile repository, and we have to pass the network service. So I can just pass it as a network service over here. So we have created a network service, and we need a app preference. So before we need if we can create an app preference, we have to create a set preference. So set preference equals to we have an application over here, and I can say application dot get set preference, and we need the set preference name. So I can just take the set preference, just copy this section and paste it over here. Okay, so now we have the set preference. So now you can see that we are making an application instead of a context, so we don't have to pass a context. And the next is we need to create an app preference. So app preference equals to app preference, and we need to pass the set preference over here. So now we have the set app preference, and now we will create a private let init var for token, token, and that's of the string. And also let us create a private let init var for the user ID, and that should be of a string too. Sorry. And let's initialize this token, token, which is of equals to, I can say app preference dot get access token, and we have a user ID, which is of equals to app preference dot get user ID. Okay, so we have why it's showing that we need to pass it to string. We need to get it to string dot to string. Okay, so we have a toString over here. Since we have instantiated over here in it, so the next step is to create let's create a function. So let's create a function to get user profile. So function get user profile, and this will return a live data, and we don't need this one, just remove that one. And the live data, what we will do is, well, let's say data is equals to we have a user profile repository dot, we need to say that get user profile, and we need to pass the token, right? So we need to pass the token and also the user ID. So we need to pass two arguments over here. One is to user profile, and another one at token and user ID. After that, we can just emit the value of data. And we also want to create one. Let's say we want to create a val of loading, and this will be of a mutable, mutable live data, and we'll create this one as a boolean. So true or false equals to mutable like data. So it should be loading loading while the D is missing. So we have a loading variable, and now whenever we call this function, I will just say loading dot post value equals to true. So which means that it is true, means that the we are sending a data, and after we get or emit the data, I can say that loading the post value equals to false. So we just want to show the basically we'll show the spinner of the our loading, so which will be of a process dialog. So if it is true, then we are going to show the process dialog, and if it is false, we are going to hide the process dialog. So now we have the user profile repository and we have the data over here. So I think that's all for this lesson. On the next lesson, we'll go and make use of this data variable, and we will implement some of the like a user email, whatever the email and the username that you want to show to the UI site, we will be implementing on the next lecture. So let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.